Hello, I'm Simon. I'm from Taiwan, and I was this the end of the school years, and I was elected as the president of the student government in the beginning of the years. And looking back at the whole 10 month or a full years of the school years, I actually learned quite a few things about leadership and the experience that leaders should have. So starting off, uh, leadership can be different with each and other people. So basically, from my experience, I learned to define my own leadership and trying to find out what's worked for best for me and the student government that I work with. Um, and and over the whole years that we have done a lot of things to the school. We mostly do things like preparing for like, event. Clement Got Talent, and we basically set up the events so the student would join in the events to, let's say, better, you know, to connect the school together as a whole student body. And we will do all sort of events too. So we also do other events like sport events and other things. And another thing student government do, it's we try to improve the school. So basically we have a focus group meeting like every 2 weeks, and we talk about the issues that we have in school, and we're trying to resolve the issues, and then we're trying to, have a better, improvement of school. So when I was running as a president, I ran on the platform of connecting the whole school together. And basically, the idea was to bring the different group in the school, bring them together as a whole group. But I never imagined that it would be so challenging. But after a whole years, it occurred to me that it's not that easy. So, but at least we got a scratch or a little head start on the project for the whole years. So what I hope is that in the future that the future student government would still be working on the project and then trying to connect this whole school together. Well, so when I first came here 5 years ago, I actually was still in the middle school. So my first year was in middle school called the Royal Oak Middle School, and it was actually quite a intimidating experience because when you first got there, you don't know anybody, and the international program in the middle school was actually quite small. So basically, basically there weren't any international students back in Royal Oak, but that gave me an opportunity to to reach out to reach out to the Canadian students and have a more intimate relationship with them. But nevertheless, I was quite a shy person back then. So the first year I didn't really talk a lot, and like most of the international students, the feeling of fears of talking to other people would be there for a while unless you overcome it. And after the first year, I graduated from the Royal Middle School and I came here to Claremont. Alright, so when I came to Claremont, I was still a little bit of the shy person, but at least I established some friendship back in grade 8. So with those help, I actually overcome my fears of interacting with Canadian students, and actually become more outgoing after grade 9, grade 10, and after that, I started getting involved in the school activity like the the club, the teams, and all the things. So I involved. So, for example, back in grade 10, I joined one of the biggest club in Claremont, which is the Key Club, and I actually made a lot more friends in the Key Club than I ever had before. And so I actually realized how important it is to get involved in the school. So in my last year of the school, I had to try something new, and so I ran for the student president, and here I am. I'm the president, and I'm graduating. So after the summer, I'm gonna go back home, and then after I visit my family, I'm actually, when the start of the next school years, I'm gonna be in Toronto, be in the University of Toronto studying business for the next 4 to 5 years, depending on the program I take. And I don't know a lot. I don't know a lot of things about the University of Toronto yet. So I'm really looking forward to going to the university there. and looking forward to the graduation there too. So after I graduate, I'm planning to stay here in Canada to start working here, and probably to get a job, to have a have a family here, and hopefully some days maybe I can bring my family here too. So well, I don't know what lie in the future, but well, I hope it's gonna be good. 5 years in Claremont actually helped. 4 years in Claremont actually helped me to get a better mark in the school, and helped me to learn better. So I actually got about 6 to 7 offers from different university. From BC, there's the Summer Fraser, there's the UVic, and there's the UBC, and I also got accepted into some university in Ontario, such as the Western Ontario, the York, the University of Toronto, and one university in Quebec, which is the McGill. So the reason I chose to go to University of Toronto is the Toronto is actually one of the biggest city in Canada. So I actually look forward to going there, to be there, and to be able to find opportunity that when I needed it. And another reason I want to be in Toronto is because Toronto is actually really close to the New York City. So whenever I have time, I can always go down to the States and visit New York, visit the Times Squares, and have fun there. So one advice I have for all of you guys is that don't be afraid of doing anything. So Steve Jobs once said before, like every single day when he woke up in his life, that he looked at the mirror and asked himself, if this is his last day, what would he do? So do the same thing for yourself. When you wake up in the morning, ask yourself, would coming here to be what you want to do, or what you want to be? Would you want to be in Canada in the next few years? Would you want to be studying here? So if the answer is yes, then this is the place for you. And after you come here, still don't be afraid of doing anything. So let's say if you want to join a club, or if you want to just do something big, like run for an election, go for it. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing to be lost about. So so the advice I'm trying to give you is that don't be afraid of doing anything that you want. That nobody can stop you. The only thing that can stop you, it's yourself. So yeah.